Hey y'all, yesterday, well no, yeah, it was yesterday, me and Tom decided, well, hang on, I'm unplugged, there we go. Tom and I decided, after a very long time of making decisions, we decided to go and see Paranormal Activity 3. And I had only really got into the whole Paranormal Activity series, like this year. And I personally don't enjoy the films because, yeah, it's great because it's an original idea of telling a story, of storytelling. And I love storytelling films, and it's a great original way of telling a story. I give it that as a overall general theory, my opinion on the franchise. Um, but also, I dislike a lot of it. Um, And I know that it's not supposed to have music in it, but for me, music is key in a film. And I know that music wouldn't work for that type of film, but without music, I already made me dislike it. And and I know that the acting would be slightly different as well, but I really didn't um, appreciate the acting very much in it. Um, and I felt that it was too what's the word? It was too kind of guessy, as in what is actually happening. Like, obviously, they can't tell you what's happening because it's not that sort of film, but it tries to give you clues in the way that the story is told by just to tell you what is happening in the story. And for me, I'm a pretty clever person. I understand films, but I really didn't. It wasn't enough for me to like understand it. But I understood it, sort of. Not really. Actually, I didn't understand it. But the main thing is that it didn't want me to. It didn't make me think, oh my god, what's going on? I need to Google it. You know, when you watch a film, you don't quite understand it. You Google it, and it makes you want more. Paranormal Activity just doesn't make me want more. Really, it doesn't. But I was like, I'm gonna give it a go, and so we went to see Paranormal Activity 3, probably the worst film I've ever seen in my life. It was, I went in knowing that it was going to be like an hour and a half long, and I was like, I love films that are an hour and a half long because films don't need to be 2 hours or 3 hours long. That's just greedy. And I lose it. I lose it. I start looking at my watch and thinking about what I'm going to have for tea tomorrow. So I went in thinking, oh, it's an hour and a half long film. I can deal with that. It's okay. And then it was just shocking, really awful. And mainly, from my point of view, it was awful because it was just hopeless at storytelling. Like, it didn't tell us, well, it didn't tell a story at all. You kind of just get thrown in. And in my opinion, it just was shockingly awful at telling a story. And when like it finished and I was like, oh, this is the end. This We have to get up now, we have to leave, we have to, go home. And then it finished and I was like, well, oh, oh. I thought we were at, the beginning of the middle bit of the film. And it's so disappointing, and it made me think that, yeah, I was right, and I've got no reason to pay these films at all any attention because it's just shockingly awful. So this is my warning to you: don't go and see Paranormal Activity 3 because, one, it's a letdown to those that really like the series, in my opinion, because Tom really likes Paranormal Activity, and he was left really disappointed. And I was like, well, if you are a fan of that series, if you go and see it, then yeah, it's disappointing. And he showed me a trailer, two trailers. One of the trailers had footage, more than half the footage in that trailer was from the second film. Hardly none of it was from the third film. The second trailer had stuff that was cut out and wasn't even in the film, and even if it was put in the film, it wouldn't have made the film a slightly better at all. It was just awful, really shocking, awful film. But the thing is, the main part of why I didn't like that film was like, well, if it's trying to leave you with questions that are unanswered, it makes you want to go back to it. It doesn't make you want to go and watch the next one if there is a next one out. Really bad film, shocking acting, shocking storytelling, shocking way of telling a story now, I believe, and a waste of money and a waste of energy and time. Don't make another one. Awful series. Never want to see it again. It's dead to me. I couldn't care less what's going on to that family. Really couldn't give a tiny rat's ass. And you know, God bless you. Don't go and see it, because awful, shocking. You don't want to see that. So yeah, don't go and see it. Hope you had a happy Halloween, and c'est la vie.